Okay, I'm gonna try to do this quickly because that lamp over there has not even been on for 10 minutes and I can already feel it starting to heat up the room. But it is now the end of July, and therefore the Criterion 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble is officially over. Oh shoot, you know what? I just realized that I got so many other things from different sales going on, and I didn't even think about doing a whole video for those. We'll have to see. I'm leaving in 2 days, so less than 2 days technically. So I don't think that's gonna happen before I leave. Anyway, Criterion sale is over. I got 8 titles. Technically I got 2 more, but those are for a friend whose birthday is coming up. Yeah, first a quick disclaimer information section here in the beginning. Thankfully, none of these titles, as far as I'm aware, are considered struck work. With the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes going on, I want to support them, and even though my channel is really small, influencers in any way are discouraged. It's what does it say on the website? Influencers should refrain from, basically promoting work that is considered struck work, whether it be for paid content or organic content, whatever kind of promotion that may be. If you're being paid for it, or if it's just, hey, I want to talk about this title, whatever it may be. Yeah, so I'm going to try to make sure that the things that I'm talking about in videos and things that I post on my Instagram and such are not struck work. Thankfully, I watch a lot of French films, and a good number of films that I talk about are foreign films, and of course I also talk about books. This mess behind me. So there's still a lot that I can do and talk about without promoting things that would go against the strikes happening, and would go against, supporting the people who make the movies and television that we watch and that we enjoy and who do the work. So, there was one more thing I was going to say before I moved on. Oh, also thankfully, I guess that this will be my lead into the first title that I have here. Thankfully, when I am available to actually work on those videos, my Purple Noon and the Summer of Visconti videos, none of those movies are American or American produced. However, I will say that I don't know what that means in terms of distribution companies. I will say that the second film I have here has a major production company logo on the back, but they're not involved in the film other than US distribution. So I don't know if that counts or not. This information is a little unclear for me, so I guess I will mention that title very briefly. So yeah, I will have a couple of the sites that I was looking at in the description for information, especially if you are also a content creator to some degree and want to take the strikes into consideration, especially if you could possibly work in terms of writing or acting in film and television. I think that they're less likely to accept you in one of the unions if you do promote struck content during a strike previous to applying or being a part of the industry. Things to keep in mind. The air just went on, but the first title that I have here is Senso, of course directed by Luchino Visconti, from 1954. Italian film, and I did not bring any of the books down here, but I intended for this to be my July pick for Purple Noon and the Summer of Visconti. I realized I mentioned that before, and I didn't tell you what that was. If you don't know, it's in the card and in the description, okay? It's something that I'm doing. I am behind in terms of both reading and watching things for that, summer project, I guess I'll call it. So I have not actually read or watched Senso, even though it's the end of July. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a period piece. It's Italian. That's all I know. Yes. This looks beautiful. I love that I just opened this and immediately I see that photo. I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be good. Costumes, you know? Costumes, period, dramas. You probably know I'm here for that. Continuing with period pieces. So this is, again, it's distributed by a particular American studio. So I'm going to be much more brief with this one. Romeo and Juliet from 1968, the Franco Zeffirelli film adaptation. I think this is the best Romeo and Juliet adaptation, though of course I would be more into the strict, like, period production of it. And mostly I got this one, well, I wanted it in my collection, but also I know that Olivia Hussey and the guy, Leonard Whiting, sued because they're underage in this film and they're nude. And I just didn't know if any kind of lawsuit would, like, affect the physical media production of the film or availability of the film overall. So I was like, I'm gonna get that because of the lawsuit. Then I got, I didn't tell you the spine number. So for fun, because everyone likes, we all do this, even though I don't think anyone really cares or, like, pays attention to the spine numbers. Senso is spine number 556 and Romeo and Juliet is spine number 1171. I don't think I have a lot of titles that are in, like, the thousands. Then next I have A Matter of Life and Death from 1946, spine number 939. This is a Powell and Pressburger film. I have not seen this. I've seen Romeo and Juliet. We watched it in my freshman year of high school when we read the play. So I'll let you know the ones that I've seen. I've seen half of these now. I'm really looking forward to seeing the production design of this. Mostly I had seen a handful of stills, I think, on Criterion's website, and it just was so intriguing. The set design, and, like, it looked like he was really small. Like, I don't even know what this is about. But I think David Niven plays the main character, yeah. And it just seemed like he was in this really big soundstage that was, all I saw were, like, the stairs. And that was, like, kind of, I have no idea what's happening in this movie, but I'm really looking forward to it because of the images that I've seen. And then also, there's a new movie that has been released in theaters that this was named as one of the director's inspirations for that film. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. I'm just not going to say it in case, okay? Not promoting. I'm also really interested to see, like, where this is going to end up ranking in terms of Powell and Pressburger films. I also have The Red Shoes and Black Narcissus. I think those are still the only two that I've seen. I started The 49th Parallel. I'm pretty sure that's by them. And I never finished it. But I love The Red Shoes and I love Black Narcissus. I went into that with kind of lower expectations when I first saw it. And somehow it became a film that I felt the desire to rewatch. And it's, at least in recent years, it's probably one of my most rewatched films. Like, in terms of movies that I've seen for the first time within the past decade, I've probably watched that at least 5 times, which is significant. My rewatching has definitely gone downhill in the past decade for movies that movies that I rewatch all the time. That doesn't happen as much anymore. And then I have Summer Hours from 2008, spine number 513. And I got this because it has Juliette Binoche in it, and I just want more of her works in my film collection, and I want to see more from her. And then also, this is directed by Olivier Assayas. Assayas? I realized I was like pronouncing his last name wrong, and now I'm questioning it again. He's the director of like the 90s Irma Vep, right? That's a 90s film. And Personal Shopper and Cold Water. He also redid Irma Vep like a couple years ago. Last year, maybe? Last year, right? With Alicia Vikander. Anyway, Summer Hours. This is a French film about a family. They have like a get together, a family get together at the beginning, and the matriarch, the mother, is really worried about all this stuff, very concerned about all of her belongings and the sort of legacy that she has created for her uncle and continued for her uncle, who was a painter, who was an artist, and she was also very much into art, and both of them sort of had collections that they've like kept in the house. And in the beginning, the mother is trying to tell the eldest son about like, well, when I die, because I'm getting up there, I think it's her birthday actually, she's like, you know, getting up there in age, and she's like, well, when I die, this is what I want to happen to this armoire that's like, you know, a piece of art, and this chest, I don't know, like random things that they've been sort of using as furniture in the family home, but that she just kind of realizes and assesses the situation of her children and says they're probably going to end up selling the place, and this is what I want to happen to all the art in the house, whether it be art that her uncle made, the paintings and such, or, you know, pieces that they've acquired. And she does end up dying, and it's just about the three siblings and their families, because they all are in relationships or have spouses, and what they end up doing, sort of the grieving process, but also what they end up doing with the house and the art. So that's Summer Hours. And then another film that I got for Juliette Binoche is Certified Copy from 2010, Spine number 612. This is an Abbas Kiarostami film, and there's a little mark here. Oh, no, it's just something on my case. I think this is the same director as Like Someone in Love, right? I wasn't a huge fan of that movie, but it did like have a nice style about it. Sorry. And I don't know that much about this one. I do know that the guy, I'm pretty sure, speaks English. Opera singer? William Schimmel? I didn't know that he was an opera singer. That's pretty cool. But I know that it has to do with these two characters. I'm gonna assume at least that they're strangers in the beginning of the movie, and they have conversations throughout the film and become acquaintances. It's kind of giving like the before trilogy. Which one is the first one? I can't think right now. It's kind of giving the before trilogy, but like a different scenario, and obviously just one film. It's in English, French, and Italian. I did watch like part of a trailer, and I heard the guy speak English, which is how I maybe I assumed that he was British or American. I'm not familiar with him, but I will be after the film, okay? I haven't watched that one yet, clearly. Okay, and then we have Fat Girl. I'm so glad that this is in my collection now. This, for the past, I mean, like, at least 3 or 4 sales, I've had it on my, like, preliminary wish list, but then I end up getting things that I haven't already seen. And I knew this was the sale to finally get Fat Girl. This is from 2001. It's spine number 259. Unfortunately, this is like, you know how sometimes you take the plastic off and it like sticks to the spine? As if they like heat sealed the plastic wrapping right here? That kind of happened. Like it stuck to the spine. Yeah, so I've already seen this before. I watched this on the Criterion channel the second year? I'd have to look at the Criterion channel year whatever lists in order to know for sure. But I went through a bunch of Catherine Breillat films, who is the director, and this one and Romance were the two that like stuck out to me the most and that I enjoyed the most. Maybe like rounding out a top 3, Bluebeard would be up there as well. I mean, Bluebeard's a little different because it's like an adaptation, and like if you know the story, then you kind of know the way that that movie is gonna end. But like her endings, I don't want to like say anything specific, but her endings, you guys, unexpected to say the least. And so hopefully I can rewatch this summer. It takes place during the summer, so I'm gonna hopefully rewatch it soon. And this is about a young girl who's kind of like the pre-adolescent age, and she has an older sister who I'm gonna say is like in her teenage years, but like maybe like 14. 12-year-old Anais, and her sister 15-year-old Elena. Alena? Yeah, so those are the ages of the two main characters. It does more so focus on Anaïs's perspective, and the French title is À ma sœur, which is sœur, à ma sœur, which is to my sister, right? Yeah, it has to do with their sisterhood, but at this very specific, you know, pre-adolescent, adolescent time in their lives. And underrated. I feel like only like SJS Arts is the only person that I've heard like really talk about this, I feel. And then the last film that I've seen is Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love. Sorry about the glare. This is from 2000, and it's by number 147. Early. I know that this is also in the box set, the 4K Wong Kar-wai set. What is the set? I don't know what the like full name of it is. But I wanted to get the Blu-ray because of the color grading. I just don't like the way that the 4K new color grading looks. So I definitely wanted to get this specific edition in my collection. I know that apparently is like the way that he intended it to look, but I just like the more like colorful palette of this one. And I haven't watched any of the supplements on this yet. I can't remember if Fat Girl, what was available in the Catherine Breillat like collection that was on the Criterion channel. I don't remember if it was like her film specifically, or if like this entire edition was available to watch on the Criterion channel. But I haven't watched any supplements for In the Mood for Love yet. I completely went through the Summer Hours release like a week ago. And then of course I have the supplements to go through also with the Romeo and Juliet release. So even though I have seen half of these titles now, I haven't watched all the supplements yet. So I have those to look forward to with In the Mood for Love, which is about a man and a woman whose significant others are having an affair, and they kind of start like hanging out. To be honest, I definitely need to rewatch this. I really liked it, but I watched it with like a group of friends, and because we were like chatting at the same time, specifics and details of the characters and plot were not, either I did not see them at all and did not pick up on them because I was reading the chat instead of the subtitles, or it just didn't stick in my mind. And then lastly, I got Time Bandits on 4K. This is the only 4K release that I got. Everything else is on Blu-ray, though this does also include the Blu-ray. And this is from 1981, spine number 37. And I mostly wanted to get this because I know that the Blu-ray, when this was initially released on Blu-ray, it had this lenticular cover, but that like sold out and then was later not available. And I just saw it at the store and I was like, I'm gonna get that. And I think it seems like it's a pretty, I don't know if it was recently re-released. Like I don't know when the 4K came out specifically, but it seems like a pretty popular title from what I can tell of like other people's haul videos and like, you know, Barnes & Noble trip kind of videos. It seemed like a lot of people were getting it. I haven't seen it. I don't really know what it's about. I just know that it's Terry Gilliam. And it seems like a sort of pirate adventure, time travel, potentially. I don't know, it's called Time Bandits, so time has to be involved somehow, right? And that's what I know about it. Yes. All right, so that's my stack. So here we are. Great. So let me know what you got, and if you've seen any of these before, and how your July went, basically. Also let me know if any of these are now like on your radar, or if you maybe plan on picking them up or watching them. I don't know which ones are available like to watch on the Criterion channel, but I'm sure at least a few of them are. So maybe if you're not a blind buyer, then you can check them out on the Criterion channel first if they're available there. I'm gonna be dog sitting coming up in a couple days, so maybe I will bring at least a couple of these with me. No, wait, I want to focus on reading. Should I even tempt myself and bring movies? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, let me know what's up with you, I guess. What did you get during the sale? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.